Welcome to Jay's Knit Therapy. I am Jennifer, and today is Friday, July the 3rd. As you can see, we are filming in a different area today. We're actually on my deck. It is a beautiful summer morning. It is Friday, July the 3rd. I am off from work to enjoy our 4th of July holiday and the birthday of our country, 250 years of America. And I thought it would just be fun to do a different setup today. It is going to be very hot and humid. We have been in a heat wave all week long. When I got in my car yesterday at the end of the day from work, it said 110. So I know it really wasn't 110, but I think it did hit 100 yesterday. So welcome summer. Here we are. I have a cup of coffee, excuse me, and it is a hot coffee, which I probably should have rethought that. Excuse me. But I have a lot to talk about today, and I thought we would do it from the deck. And if this works out well, I might try to do this summer. I'm going to call it my deck talks. So I hope you like this setup. Let me know in the comments what you think. But we have a lot to talk about. I have been very energetic in my knitting. I've gotten a lot of things accomplished. I've got FOs to talk about. I've got WIPs, and I have new cast-ons. So let's get into it. The one thing I did want to just bring up is I wanted to say thank you for all the comments on my prospect tee and ideas about the armholes. To be honest, I haven't even worn it yet since that podcast. I do want to stitch up those armholes a little bit so they're not quite so large. And I just haven't had a second to do that. But I will be doing it because I've been wanting to wear it. Also, I love to hear from all the different places everybody's from. So we had people from Washington State, we had Florida, the Netherlands, Edinburgh, where else? Oh, I'm going to forget them all. I think Idaho, New York. It was just fantastic. So I'm so glad that you guys piped in and shared where you were from because I just find it very interesting. So thank you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to tell you where you could find me. You can find me on Ravelry at Jay's Knit Therapy, also on Instagram on Jay's Knit Therapy. And I don't think I've ever shared this before, but I do have an email, and it is jsknit.therapy@yahoo.com. If you ever want to email me, feel free to do so, and I'll have all that down in the show notes too if you don't remember it. So let's get into it today. So what I thought I would do is I would talk about the FOs, the WIPs, the new cast-ons. I have some acquisitions, and then I'll just do a little life update. June has been a really busy month for my husband and I, and thought I would just talk a little bit about what we've been doing. So if you want to stick around at the end and hear that, that's what I'm going to get into. So let's get into the FOs. So my first FO is my Avenue tank. And also, I'm not sure what kind of noises you're going to hear, but I hear birds chirping, cars are going to be going by, but I think with my mic, it'll manage that stuff. So I apologize. We'll see how it goes. If this doesn't work, then I may not be doing it again, but I think it's going to be okay. So here's my first. This is my Avenue tank that I did the test knit for, Tori U. It came out so beautiful. It was a top-down construction. Just show you the little shoulder area there where it connected to the front. So you started in the back, made like the trapezoid, and then you picked up the stitches at the shoulder and came down the front. And then you eventually connected. I don't want to get into it too much. I've talked about this so much, but it really came out beautiful. I did it in Cascade 220 Heritage in the color Citron, which is this gorgeous lime green color. And I wore it the other day. It's been so hot. I wore it the other day with a really cute linen skirt, and I absolutely love it. So this is off my needles. It launched, I believe, June 15th, Tori launched a new pattern, so feel free to go out and check that out. It is a fingering weight. It did take, I think, 2 months for me to finish it, so it was a little bit of a slow knit, but well worth it. And I think if I were to do it again, I would do it in maybe a cotton merino or something like that. But I think I would like another one in my wardrobe. So that's the Avenue T. Let me back up. I am not wearing any knits today, as you can probably see, but I do have this really cute t-shirt on, and it's from Ireland, and I thought it was appropriate to wear. My husband and I took a trip to Ireland last fall, and we were in a gift shop, and I went to use the restroom, and when I came out of the restroom, my husband had this in his hand. He's like, you have to buy this t-shirt. So, hey, if I have anybody from Ireland, let me know watching, but I love this t-shirt. All right, so my second FO, guess what? I finished my late checkout sweater. Finally, she's done. And of course, I can't wear this till fall. It's much too hot. So here we go. Here she is. Got the bind off done. Remember my debacle with when I lost all the stitches? I got them all back on. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I got the 2 sleeves done. The drop shoulder construction on the back. I believe this is a European construction. It's just so nice. I love the color. You're really kind of getting the true color out here in the daylight. It is oversized. It is, let me tell you, hang on, I gotta flip back here in my notes. I cast this on February 7th. I finished it on June the 18th. I used a needle size 7. I wasn't getting gauge on her recommended needle size, and I did some gauge math, if you recall, so I ended up sizing up. I did a size 5, and it gave me 10 inches of positive ease. So there's 51 inches of positive ease on the 41-inch bust. I love the fit. I absolutely love the fit. I can't wait to wear it. But I got to share something. So when I dropped all these stitches off one weekend, I said, I'm going to just concentrate on this sweater. So picking up the stitches wasn't that bad. I did not have to do a lifeline for it, but it did take me a little bit of time to be able to pick them up. A few had dropped, and that went great. So I got through that. I opted, she called for an Italian bind off. I opted to do an Icelandic bind off, which I saw a reel on one day, and then I found a YouTube tutorial. I really like it. It's very stretchy. I like how it turned out. I also did it on the cuffs. So as you can see, it is a 2x2 rib too, but the bind off is very stretchy. I was really happy with that bind off. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that before, but you guys, I had that one sleeve left, and I knit probably to about here. Oh no, I knit the whole sleeve. I was ready to do the cuff. I was so excited, and I look at it, at my needles. I had the wrong needle size. The wrong needle size. I used the needle size for, what did I use? I was supposed to use a 4, and I think I used the wrong needle size, long story short, and it was a significant difference. And I wasn't happy because I tried the sweater on. The one sleeve felt smaller, like in circumference, and I knew that would just bug me. It would just bug me. So I ended up putting in a lifeline, and I'll pop up a picture right about here. I probably didn't have to do the lifeline, but I was so worried that if I just kept ripping back, I didn't want to pick up stitches again. I'm not a huge lover of picking up stitches. So it took me like 10 minutes, not even. I threw this lifeline in. I ripped back the entire sleeve, and I reknit it. And I just said, this is what I'm going to have for a very long time, and I want it to be correct. And what's another couple hours of time? So that's what I did, and I'm so glad I did. So she's done, she's blocked, she's off the needles, and I can't wait to wear it. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share about that. Knit Picks Pallette is the yarn I used in the color Fairy Tale, and I held it double. And my gauge was 16 inches, so, or 16 stitches for 4 inches. So that's my late checkout sweater. The third thing I finished, which I talked about, I think it was just a cast on last time, is my Romeo scarf. And here that is. It's done in drops Belle. And I'm going to have to put the colorway on the screen because I don't have it. I was bad. I didn't make a project page for this. But it's such a pretty design. She calls it a cable design. It's like a 1x1 cable, but no needle is needed. It's like you twist the stitch. But it was just a nice little knit to do in between. It's a nice length. I did block it. I have worn it once, and it was very comfortable because it is in drops Belle, which is linen viscose and cotton. I had a pair of black pants with white polka dots and a white top, and I wore the scarf, and it looked really, really cute. But I love this little garter detail at the bottom. It just gives it a little interest and some texture. So this was a little quick knit. I would like to make this in wool, and I probably will for fall and winter. But this is my Romeo scarf, and I will put the designer's name up because I can't think of it right now. So the next thing, WIPs. I have one WIP going, and it is still my Northland sweater for my husband. I made a lot. I've done a lot of knitting, guys, and I've made a lot of progress on this. So let me get it out of my bag here. And here's the Northland. I need to bind off the neck. It is an Italian bind off, and I've never done that. So I do need to follow a video. I pulled off the amount of yarn I'm going to need. You do like 3 times the circumference that you're doing. So I have that on hold. And so I just went into the body, but look, I think I'm just about done with the length. I do want him to try it on before we go any further. So I do have to get this bind off on the neck so we can get it over his head. And then I'll pick up for the sleeves, but it's got this really nice raglan increases, as you can see. This is a really nice pattern. It's an easy pattern if you've never made a man's sweater before. This is a really nice pattern to start with. It has almost like this little saddle shoulder detail, and you can see where it breaks out to do the raglan in the shoulder increases here. This yarn is Mary Maxim Alpaca. I think I have a skein here. Natural Alpaca. And it's called just gray is the color. It is 77% acrylic and 20% alpaca and 3% viscose. So I had bought this in a kit. I was going to crochet my husband a sweater, and I ended up frogging it. I wasn't enjoying it. I decided to knit one. So here we are. This is going to be done very, very soon. So I'm excited. So hopefully maybe the next podcast I will have this finished to show you, but this has been a great knit, and I'm doing the size large for him. Okay. So I have a bunch of new cast-ons. I actually have 3, which is a lot for me. So the first one, let me get it. Is, I know it's summer, but I think I shared before that we are taking a trip in August, and we're doing an Alaskan cruise. And I do a lot of reading before we travel just to see what we should be bringing to wear, what the weather's going to be like, as probably most people do. But someone was mentioning that when you go on excursions, it can get really windy. We are doing a whale watch one day, so I wanted to make a hat. So I am making, this is the cast on. It is the Purl Soho 1x1 ribbed knit hat. I'm using stash, I'm sorry, I got kitty hair, guys. I am using stash yarn. I had Haiku Sueño, which is this gray right here. It is a superwash um, yarn, 80% merino, 20% viscose from bamboo, and the color is fog. And then the other color is drops extra fine merino. This is also a superwash merino in the color number 35. But they are really, both of them are really soft. It just feels really nice in my hands as I'm making this. So you just, I ended up casting on for the large. I thought I'd be making the medium based on my head circumference, but I went up a size in the needle because the size needle they called for, I didn't have that size. So I went up a size needle. I am using a 4, US 4 needle. And so I did a quick little gauge swatch and it fell into the large. So I'm making the large. I know it's going to be stretchy between the superwash and the rib, but that's what I ended up doing. So very simple. You just cast on whatever amount of stitches they told you, and then you do 2 rows of one color, then you go 2 rows of the coordinating color, and so on and so forth. But if you look at this closely, you can see that right here, it's a bottom up hat. Right here, I screwed up and I did 3 rows of the mulberry. I'm going to call it mulberry, of the mulberry color. And I think when I noticed I was already on this row of the mulberry color, and I was like, all right, I got to make a decision. Am I going to rip this out or am I just going to go with it? So I decided to go with it. I just wasn't into ripping it out. So that's now what I'm doing is when I do the 3 here, then I'll do 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, and I'm going to just do that throughout the hat just to make it look more uniform, but I think it's fine. I'm not upset about it. So this is going along. It's a quick knit. I have never knitted stripes. This is my first time doing stripes, and I'm doing the method where you carry the yarn up the side. So you're not cutting your yarn every time. So you don't have a ton of ends to weave in. And it's really simple. You basically, when you get to your end of round marker and you're switching colors, you just twist the 2 colors together, one over the other, and it just kind of catches underneath. So, and it's very neat looking, and this is the inside anyway. But that's working out really well. So this is my Purl Soho 1x1 rib hat. It is a free pattern. So yeah, go check that out. So that's cast on number 1 that I have. Cast on number 2, which I did speak about last month. It's called the Purl Soho Elementary Wrap. And I cast this on June the 27th. And I haven't gotten super far, but this is where I'm at. Again, this is a free pattern, Purl Soho free pattern. And I ended up, which I will talk more in my acquisitions about the yarn that I ended up getting, but I ended up buying yarn from Purl Soho. So what I also ended up doing, and I know it's flipping up right now, but I was reading the project notes on the Purl Soho website, and a lot of it's all done in stockinette stitch. So, and it's knit flat. So obviously you do all your knits and then you flip it over and you do all your purls. But a couple of people were saying because you just start off in the stockinette that it kept flipping up on the bottom, and they tried to block it out and it just kept curling up, and I knew that that would drive me crazy. And a couple other people shared that what they did to rectify that is they did a few rows of the seed stitch. So that's what I opted to do. I did, I think, 4 rows total of seed stitch. Then I went right into my stockinette. And I think there's 90 stitches cast on, if my memory is correct. So my plan is I'm going to stripe this. So I bought other yarns that I'm going to stripe with it. And I have 3 other colors here. These are the 3 colors that I'm going to put with that and stripe. So what I want to do, I've been trying to figure out a little bit of yarn management and color management and how I'm going to make that work. I'll talk about the colors when I talk about the acquisitions. But pretty soon I'm going to have to start with the stripes. So basically the wrap is going to be, you know, a section about this long in this color, which is oatmeal. And then I'll go into the stripes. And then at the end, it'll end, you know, with the oatmeal color at the end. I think I'm going to do 4-row stripes. I also looked into how I would be able to carry the yarn up with that. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up doing that because what happens on something like this, it's not knitting around and it's flat. First of all, it has you do some knitting and purling on the ends, depending if you're on the knit side or the purl side. So it really makes this pretty edge. If I were to carry up all of those different colored yarns, it's going to make the edge really thick. And I don't think I'm going to be pleased with that. So I'm probably going to end up cutting the yarn and weaving in a million ends. But I think that might be better for this project. So this is the Purl Soho Elementary Wrap. Again, it is a free pattern on Purl Soho. I'll tell you more about the yarn soon. Then my third cast on, guys. I'm so excited about this. I did it. I cast on the Ranunculus. I'm so excited and I'm absolutely loving it. And I should really call it a WIP because it's almost done. Wait till you see this. All right, where is she? Okay, here she is. I cast it on the Ranunculus. Look at it. I have, let's see, I'm right about here on the side. I probably have another 4 inches and then I'll be at the bottom hem. And you could actually just cast off these where they are and have a little cap sleeve. I think I'm just going to go a little bit longer, not much, maybe like an inch. But oh, look at this color. This color makes me so happy. And again, I will talk about the yarn and the color next in my acquisition portion. But I got to tell you, I am so happy with this. And kudos to, I have to give a shout out. As many of you may feel the same way, I didn't know where to start with this ranunculus. I was really avoiding it, even though I saw them. And at first I didn't like them. Then I saw some I liked. So I found these podcasters that I follow. And let me find my notes. It's called Yarn Over With Us, is a YouTube channel. It's Susie and Linda. They're friends. One lives in Alabama, one lives in North Carolina, and they have this podcast. I'm sure many of you have seen them before, but they did a whole ranunculus knit along. I think it started the beginning of the year, maybe around February, and they put out a wonderful video called Ranunculus Knit to Fit, and I will put all of the links to these for you. But it helps you to choose a size ranunculus and your needle size. So she really takes the guesswork. Linda's the one who talks about how to do it. It is like an 8-minute video. If you're interested in the ranunculus, or you're just curious about the ranunculus, or you're totally flabbergasted and don't know where to start like I was, go out and watch her 8-minute video. This is what really solidified it for me. She talks, obviously, as you know, you can use any type of yarn that you want to, any weight, anything. So, but the key is trying to figure out the size, right? And the needle size for your weight of yarn. So she demystifies the whole process, and it's so simple that I couldn't wait to get yarn to make this. So go out and check check out their video. Then when I got my yarn, you have to do a gauge swatch based on Linda's recommendations. She walks you through what size needle to start with. She recommends you look at your ball band on your yarn, and whatever that needle is, go up 2 needles. That's where you start. Do a swatch, see what the fabric is like. If the fabric's too tight, go up another needle. If the fabric's too loose, go down a needle. So that's basically how you get to know what needle. And then based on the pattern and the measurements, that's how you figure out your size. So I am making a size 8, believe it or not, with this yarn. This is a DK yarn. I am making the size 8. I really love the fabric. It's not too loose and open. It's, I'm not going to have to wear like a camisole under it, which in the summer I did not want to do that. Some of them are very loose gauge. And this is a US size 7 needle. And I did the collar on a US size 6. And that's what I will also end up binding off on for my sleeves and my bottom hem. So yeah, I'm doing a size 8, which I'm usually a size 4. So go figure. Then what I did is I went and checked out Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks. She has a whole series of videos on Ranunculus. Midori Hirose has links also, and I didn't even click into her links, but from what I understand, there's no speaking in them. She's just showing you with her hands and how to do the stitches. The stitches are really easy to do, but when you're reading how she has it written out, I would have done them totally incorrectly. But Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks, she explains how to do the stitches correctly, and she breaks out each section of the pattern. So I would watch a video, I would do the stitch pattern with her video, and then I would move on to the next section. And so this was really a knit that I was tied to at home. I would just pull up her video, and when I had a good hour to sit down, I would do every section, and now it's like just stacking out. So this is going everywhere with me. But it's been so much fun. It's just such a pretty design. The stitches are fun. I see why people get addicted to this, and I will definitely be making another one. I definitely would be making another one. I cast this on, where is it? June the 7th. And I'm still working on it, but I've made really good progress. I know some people say, oh, they make it in 2 weeks. I probably could have if I was monogamously knitting on this, but I've been doing, as you can see, so many other things, and I still made a ton of progress. So I cannot wait to get my ranunculus finished, guys. Get her finished. All right, let me tell you about my acquisitions. So let's tell you about this yarn. So first of all, this red to me is gorgeous. This is my color red. It is not showing up exactly how it is. Maybe if I put it back here, it's more of a blue red, which is what I go for, as opposed to an orangey red. This is a new to me yarn that I've never used. Hold on, I got the ball bands over here. And this is Berroco Modern Cotton DK. And it is obviously a DK. It's 60% Pima cotton, 40% modal viscose. It feels amazing in my hands. It is soft. It's a joy to knit with. I can't wait to wear it because I think it's going to be really cool and really comfortable. The color is, it's not a name, it's 66150 is the color. Clearly it's a gorgeous red color. You can machine wash this and dry flat, so that's great. I've been enjoying my what did I make? Oops, sorry, just hit my mic. The nuance tee, I made it in the drop spell, and I've been throwing that right in the washing machine every couple of wears on delicate in the lingerie bag. And so I'm really going to like being able to do that. But this I will definitely be making more summer garments in this, and it's a really good price point. So that was my first acquisition. My second one are these beauties, along with the main color right here. So this is, I had talked about Purl Soho. I've been wanting to use their yarn. This is their Plein Air line, and Plein is spelled P-L-E-I-N. I did look up the pronunciation because I was calling it Pline, but apparently this is a French word. And here is the ball band. It is organically grown, organically grown cotton and 67% wool. This color is called Sweet Apricot. The green color is turquoise. Hold on, I think it's called turquoise green. Turquoise green. Actually, wow, it looks really great with my shirt. The purple color is called Purple Hellebore. And this is called Rolled Oat. So I did purchase this on one of their sales. They have really great sales. Every couple of weeks, they have 25% off just about everything on their website. So that's how I recommend buying their yarn. It feels a little rustic, but I'm sure once it washes, it's going to bloom really well and it's going to soften up. But I do really, really love it. It's a DK weight yarn, and that is my purchase from Purl Soho. I'm gonna grab some coffee, guys. And one more thing. When I purchased from Purl Soho, and I know we all do this, you want the free shipping. I wasn't that far away from free shipping, so I decided to throw in a skein of their linen quill because I've heard so many good things about linen quill for summer garments. But look at this color. Isn't that gorgeous? This blue. It almost looks a little heathered, and I think that's because of you can see the little linen bits. So this is 50% Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. So there's not a ton of linen in it. It's fingering weight, and this color is called Blue Blue. It's color number 1548. I don't have any plans for this, but I needed the free shipping. So we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll buy more linen quill and I'll do a little striped top, or I'm not really sure, but this is the linen quill. And what they also did, if you spend $100, that's when you get the free shipping, they throw in a free gift. So they sent me their little sample of their cotton chirp DK. This color is Winter Sky, which is color 6700. It is also machine washable. It says you can tumble dry on low. It's 100% Peruvian Pima cotton, and it feels lovely. And the Berroco cotton DK is also a Pima cotton, so I think I really like the feel of cotton. So we're going to give that a try. I'm not sure what I'll use this for. It's a very small amount. It's like 58 yards. It's a little 25-gram ball, but it's so cute. So at least it'll give you an idea. I like how they do that, obviously, to get you to buy more, and that's great. My last acquisition is this beauty. This is, and here it is. So I spoke about Cascade Cantata quite a while back, maybe 2 or 3 podcasts ago, and this is the Cascade Cantata. Here is the ball band. This is an Aran weight yarn, and it is hand wash cold. It is a 70% cotton, 30% superwash merino. The color is called maroon, and as you can see, and I'm going to say it backwards again. I said it backwards the last time. I believe the cotton doesn't dye up like the merino. That's why it gives it this kind of heathered look. I bought 5 balls of this. I have a special secret plan for this that I can't divulge the details yet. But you will hear the details, and it probably won't be for a couple of months. But I am going to be knitting up something very special with this, and I'm so excited to try it. It's sort of it is a blown. I don't know if that's going to. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to. It's a little blurry. But I'm so excited to try this out. It's very light and airy. Can't wait to see the kind of fabric it knits up in. But you will see more of this and in the future. So that's Cascade Cantata. And I wanted to share, I bought it from Wool & Co. Has anyone ever shopped from Wool & Co.? They're based in Elgin, Illinois. I've never ordered anything. They have many different yarn lines, and that's the only place I could find the cantata. I do have a few yarn shops near me that carry Cascade, but they don't carry the cantata. So I went out there and I bought it. So 2 things impressed me. One, they have free shipping in the United States on any purchase. So whether you spend $10 or $200, you have free shipping, which was fantastic. Second thing, they offer free ball winding from their hanks. So I was like, yes, please. You know, you don't have to take out your Swift and do all the things. And not that it takes all that long, but I was like, yes, I'll take the free ball winding. So it came just like this. And I took the ball band out, but the ball band is stuck in there, so you get all the ball bands. And of course, I checked to make sure they were the same dye lot. I didn't think they wouldn't be, but yeah, how cool is that? So I will definitely be ordering from Wool & Co. in the future if there's something I can't find locally. So just a little aside, a little tidbit. Um, one more thing, has anyone seen the new pattern out by Beth MacDonald Stone? She launched a new pattern only a couple of days ago, and it's called the Tank Rain Tea. Um, and I'm going to put a picture up of it. Yeah, I think it is actually absolutely beautiful. And can we just look at that color on her? She looks stunning in that blue color. She made it in drops Belle. I am like wanting to make this tea now. I have a lot of things going on, so I'm probably not casting it on anytime soon, but it is a pattern I'm going to be purchasing. She also, when she launches a new pattern, she offers like a 20% discount for like 2 or 3 weeks, which is so generous of her. So I have it in my favorites. I am going to be purchasing it. And I do have some drop spell in my stash that I want to make it with. So here it is. It's like a creamy white color. Um, they don't put names for it's color number 26. I feel like the name, I think on the website, sometimes there's a name for the color. I feel like it was called silver, but this is not silvery to me at all. It really is a creamy white in person. And I really need a neutral colored summer top. I have I have these really pretty green cropped summer pants that it's not the green of my nails or even the green of my shirt, more of a spring green color. It's a darker green, maybe grass green. It's such a pretty green, but I have a hard time finding a top. I usually just wear white. I have like a white top that I don't love the top, but I've been wearing it with them because I really like the pants. So I would really love to make that tee in this drop spell specifically to wear with those pants. But again, because it's neutral, I could wear the top with just about anything. So I would love to get this on my needles sooner rather than later, but there's so much going on. I'm not going to push it, but that is something in the future. So go out if you're interested and buy that pattern while you can get your discount. So that's all kind of the knitting I had. I wanted to go into a little bit of a life update. If you would like to stick around, there is a little bit of knitting information in that life update. I'm going to talk about some places I visited. if you want to stick around. If not, it's totally okay. If you don't, I'm fine with that. I hope that you are loving everything that you're knitting. And if you want to come back for my next episode, which will be in a month, I'd love to have you back. And if not, stick around. So this is what's been going on, guys, this month. I realized, and I guess I didn't, it took me all month to realize it, but we were busy. Every single weekend, we had something going on. So the first weekend in June, it was our anniversary. So my husband and I, and it was on a Saturday, and my husband is just the sweetest. It was our 11th anniversary. And he said, you know what, why don't we take a day trip? Let's take a ride to Bennington, Vermont, which isn't too far from us. And he went as far as to find a yarn shop in Bennington, Vermont that he wanted to take me to, which was so kind. And we ended up going to this place called the King's Knit WIP. And it's this cute little yarn shop in Bennington, Vermont, owned by a gentleman named Doug and his partner. And his partner's name is eluding me right now, but they are originally from California, from the San Francisco Bay Area, and they retired in Vermont, and they opened this cute little yarn shop. And not only do they have yarn, but his partner is a baker, and he bakes really nice treats, and he does coffees and teas, and um, just so fun. And so that's where I bought the Berroco yarn. I bought it at his shop. We were in there, and I wanted to pick up something, and I fell in love with the red, and I had never seen that yarn in any other yarn shop local to me. And so I decided to grab that yarn to make my ranunculus. We had such a nice time. We visited, I talked to him, told him I had a YouTube podcast. So Doug, if you're watching, give me a little shout out. He is also a spinner, so we ended up getting some iced tea and a little treat, and he had this little back room where he does classes and meetups with other knitters, and he was spinning and I was knitting, and my husband was sitting sitting next to me, just being very patient with the whole process. And he's a very supportive husband with my hobbies, and I'm so grateful for that. So if you're ever in the Bennington, Vermont area, go visit Doug at the King's Knit WIP. Then the second weekend in the States, we celebrate Father's Day in the month of June. And Father's Day, I think, was like it was the third weekend of June, but the second weekend of June is when we actually celebrated my husband. Um, his one son lives in Auburn, New York, which is west of where we are by a few hours, and he is a New York State trooper. So we don't get to see him all that much, and he works every other weekend. So he was working Father's Day weekend. So the weekend before, I did a Father's Day brunch here at our home, um, and all the kids were here, and it was so great. And we celebrated my husband, and it was a busy weekend, cooking for all those kids and their significant others, but it was lovely. So that was our second weekend plans. And then on actual Father's Day, because didn't have the kids around, um, we ended up, and again, this was my husband's idea. It was so fun. He said, why don't we go to the zoo? So there is a zoo in New York called the Utica Zoo. It is also west of where we are. We had a little bit of a ride to get there, but not bad. And it was so much fun. So I'm going to put some footage up. We were there for like 3 hours. I was like a kid in a candy store. I love animals. And they had great animals. I mean, they had lion and lioness and zebras, and this was the best part. They had a family of yaks. So the yaks, I'll put a picture up. They had a little baby, and I couldn't get real close to them. They were kind of grazing down in this field, but I got to see a yak, and I have yarn with yak in it. So that was really fun for me to see the family of yaks. They had some monkeys. They also had a room, or a building rather, where they had a coral reef and these beautiful tropical fish. But it was so much fun. It was a very clean zoo, a very affordable zoo. Um, so if anybody's in upstate New York and you want to check out a zoo, go to the Utica Zoo. It was really, really fun. So we did that for Father's Day with my husband. And then this past weekend, which was the last weekend of the month, my husband is from Long Island and his family's on Long Island, and my mother-in-law is there. She is 93 years old. We don't get to see her all that often, but she is in a nursing home down there. So we try to get down there as often as we can. So we drove down and we had a nice visit with her, and my sister-in-law was gracious enough to open her home. He has 5 siblings, so he's from a big family, although 2 of his siblings do no longer live on the island. But she still had like 15 of us over for dinner. She did this gorgeous Italian meal, and we got to spend time with his family, and share a meal. So that was fantastic. So it was a very busy month. I got a lot of passenger princess knitting time in. I actually cast on my elementary wrap, driving down to Long Island, and yeah, so we just got a lot of knitting done. This weekend, as I said, is the 4th of July, so there's a lot going on around us, celebrating 250 years of America. Tonight, we are hoping to go see some live music, and they have food vendors, and there's going to be fireworks. So let's hope the humidity kind of stays not. It's supposed to break, not break, but it's supposed to be a little bit better today. In fact, there's a little breeze here on the deck, and it's absolutely gorgeous, very comfortable. But I hope to do that, and I am hoping to go to the pool. That is on my next agenda. A little bit later this morning, I'm going to go get some pool time in, and I think that's it. So if you stuck around, thank you so much for sticking around. Let me know if you liked my little deck series. Maybe I'll do this for the summer. My little deck talks, little different backdrop, a little different, maybe a little more relaxed maybe. So let me know if you like it. Again, you can find me on Ravelry at Jay's Knit Therapy, on Instagram at Jay's Knit Therapy, and feel free to send me an email, jsknit.therapy@yahoo.com. I hope you find joy in what you're doing and in your knitting. Until next time, I hope to see you soon. Please click. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I know I'm not very good at this, but if you haven't yet subscribed, I would love it for you to subscribe. I do have a lot of viewers that watch, which is fantastic. And a lot of them are not subscribers yet. So if that's you, please click and subscribe. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I would love to hit that milestone. It helps the algorithm, and my content can get out to other people who also love to knit and chat. And I would love for us to just keep growing our community. So thank you again so much. God bless you, and enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Let freedom reign. Oh, glory will fly. Happy birthday, USA, on the 4th of July. Light 'em up.